So, welcome to Jeremiah Creek. This week, Jeremiah Creek is not actually here with us.
Story of our life.
I don't know where he's at.
Nobody knows where he's at, Dave. He's in the wind. He's a mysterious stranger. You know, he just sends us facts, not emails, faxes.
All right. So I'm sorry. I'm starting up. It says it's not. All right. Well, we're not able to go live on YouTube.
What happened there? What is? You know what? I wonder if they're like arguing with Spreaker.
I don't know. Well, it's not Spreaker. This would be a Minicam. And everything looks like it's proper, but it just we'd have to restart all over again. So we'll just we'll do it on YouTube, and I'll try and upload it onto. We're recording, so I'll try to upload it onto YouTube later. No problem. Although the intro won't be there. So yeah. So
can you drop the intro on it?
Oh yeah, probably can. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot of editing to do that. So
no. All right. So I have a topic. I actually have a topic to talk about.
Yeah, you sure do. I mean, the kids should leave the room.
I saw this. I don't know if I sent it to you.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. So I'm assuming then you read it completely and thoroughly because I sent it to you.
I have read almost all the words.
The Daily Caller website, their tech section had a story this week, and it says study: horny people more open to sex with robots. Right away, I'm like, that title caught my mind because it's like it would be strange if people who were not horny would be open to sex with robots, right? I mean, it just seems like if you're horny, you're open to sex with anything.
That'd be a totally different headline.
Right, yeah.
People choosing paint at Lowe's more open to sex with robots.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, yeah, but okay, but just taking your metaphor one step further, it's like people who are interested in painting their houses are more open to buying paint. Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. People who are hungry more open to buying food.
People whose bathtub drains are stopped up are more open to buying Drano. You know, I mean, come on.
All right. I still think the whole stuff with robots thing is just, it's awful, and the people that do that, and I'm so sorry, I bored myself. There's a lot of people that I say a lot. There's more than one person in the world, which is already too many, that are into these sex dolls and sex robots and having actual relationships with like inanimate objects, you know, like cutouts, like styrofoam cutouts of anime characters and stuff. It's just weird. But the robots thing takes it a lot further.
I don't think so. All right, wait, let me get back to the story. Sexual arousal can increase people's willingness to engage with sex robots. And this study was published by the Journal of Sex Research, which is a publication I don't read enough, apparently. I'm going to start reading that a little bit more.
You know, I learned about this just when I quit my career as a freelancer. Damn it, man. Where are the men?
You're free. If you even quit your career, you could still do a little freelancing on the side. It's not like you're going to be cheating on your career.
I don't want to.
All right.
Well, how come all the sex robots are women?
I don't think they are.
Well, I mean,
Not according to some of the movies I've watched. I mean,
all right, I'm about to cause the FBI to spill their coffee
all
as I research this while you and I are talking.
right, here's what they say: their findings are important given the rise of sex robots and their potential influence on our intimate decisions and behaviors. Uh, the study also found that men are more willing to engage sexually with robots than women are.
Well, I mean,
I love the fact that they have to say, all right, the sample of 321 adults over the age of 18 completed a two-part online survey. Now, I would like to see them do the same poll of people between the ages of 16 and 18. I bet you it would be a lot higher.
I mean, absolutely. I sent you an article. There are definitely male sex robots.
Yeah, I thought so. I have my one of my kids' friends, one of my son's friends, is right. This is one of those kids. This is one of those kids who growing up is like, well, that kid's goofy. He's never gonna amount to anything. This kid, and he was the one his friends made fun of. And so one day, they came back from a trip, and I picked him up from the airport, and I'm driving him home, and I'm like, hey, so wait, what are you doing? What are you doing these days? And he said, well, I'm doing. Uh, I'm working. I forgot how he described it, but it basically had something to do with designing systems for a nuclear power plant and system analysis and stuff. And I said, "You work at a nuclear power plant?" He goes, "Oh yeah, well, my degree is in systems analysis for high velocity vehicles." I go, "Wait a minute. Are you telling me you're literally a rocket scientist?" And he's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, this kid who I was, grew up to be a rocket scientist. And then my son goes, yeah, but he's only doing that to pay the rent while he's waiting for the sex robot business to catch up so he can join that, so he can work on sex robots. And I'm like, and all he didn't miss a beat. He goes, yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. There's not enough, there's not enough going on. And I'm like, but you know what? I think that there's a lot more people, and I think it's a lot less weirder than you make it out to be, of people who would be willing to use a sex robots. I mean, I'm not talking about it used to be real creepy and stuff about the dolls, the rubber dolls. What are they called?
Sex dolls? I don't know.
What brand do you have? All right, but the it was
Meet Lisa.
What the hell was it? What the hell are those things called? I don't know why I'm.
I don't know what you're talking about. Rubber dolls?
Blow up. The ones that blow up.
Blow up dolls.
Blow up dolls. Can't believe I did that. All right.
You might want to edit. You might want to edit that out.
Yeah. So blow up dolls. But nowadays, I mean, at least again, the movies that I like, there was some kind of high. What do you call them? There was some kind of a futuristic movie about people developing relationships with sex dolls, and they're at some point they're supposed to look very real, like and there is a lot of people out there who do not have relationships.
Yeah, more and more.
Yeah, especially now, if you think about it, since the pandemic, people are getting much more solitary.
They are isolated. We've talked about this on for other reasons, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Why is my screen looking like that? No.
People are it's bad in other countries. In Japan, they're actually paying young people to get out of their apartment and go socialize.
Right.
Because everyone's just basically they're in there and they're cocooned, man. Whoa, I can see everything in your. No, I can't. Your secret lair. I mean, the thing is that these sex robots are gonna get better and better. What are you doing?
You know what? The blur is messing up my screen, so I just want to make sure I didn't have any identifying stuff behind it.
Is your sex robot parked back there? And what is the words you use? Do you say you're parking your sex robot when you put it away, or do you bring it to a friend's house?
Putting it back in the closet?
What happens when they have like GPS and stuff like that, and you can like order one like an Uber? Oh shit, you're on your
Well,
porch. You're on your
do you,
porch.
do you think that though you boy, that seems kind of strange. Would you rent? I mean, you know, I mean, if you buy a sex doll and you have it and it's yours and you own it and you have ownership over it, that's one thing. But if you're gonna like rent a sex doll, isn't that the same as like prostitution?
It's not a real person, so no, it's an instrument. Technically,
Yeah.
it's a sex doll is a tool, and you know what, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm predicting that there is going to be robot brothels in Vegas, um, probably by the end of our podcast. They're gonna, but I mean, think about it. These, just think, you're a frat dude, you know, the kind of guy that goes to Vegas. I don't know. I've got friends that go to Vegas, but it's never appealed to me. But so you're a guy that goes to Vegas. You're you're there, um, you know, for whatever reason. You go back to your hotel room. You're alone. You're a little bit tipsy. You're not gonna hire a prostitute because you're married, let's say, and also maybe it doesn't appeal to you and you're worried about disease and stuff. But on the hotel menu is robot prostitutes, robotoots, and they're guaranteed. There's all this stuff about them in your little brochure that's in your bedside table. It says they're guaranteed to be safe and good. And you just hit the button and they knock on your door. Are you going to do that? Hell yeah, you are.
Well, let me ask you this now: would you? This came up when I think we talked about it when we talked about Westworld a few years ago. Is that cheating?
I don't think so.
Well, I think men would. I bet you if they did a poll, men would say no, that's not cheating, and women would say yeah, that
It's
is cheating.
No, I mean it's no different from using an instrument of some kind. Let's say an instrument that, I don't know, vibrates.
I don't think that is. I don't think that's true. I don't think most people would think that that's true. That it's not
Because it has
the
a
same thing.
face. Because they have a face.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that's ridiculous. It's a machine.
You think if your wife made that argument, then you could order a faceless robot, and then, or wouldn't that be weird?
I think here's the way it has to work. All right, the faces are customizable. They're 3D printed. All right, it can be anyone. You can order Scarlett Johansson if you want. But for men that are really serious about it, their wife gets to choose the face. So it's a circus
Or
freak or something.
would your wife think it was weird if you ordered a sex robot that looked just like her?
That would be, yeah, that would be weird.
All right, wait, let's go off on tangents again. All right, now imagine. All right, and I remember early on in our marriage, this actually came up. There is a
Dave's talking about his marriage to Annie. Dave and I are not married.
yeah, the the idea. Okay, would do women get offended, or really, I guess, this would apply to guys if uh let's say you think somebody's beautiful, you think somebody's pretty, sexy, whatever, and they don't look like. I'm not saying that, like your wife looks like Scarlett Johansson, but if you look at Scarlett Johansson, she's a blonde, she's white, she's however tall, and there's a certain at least key characteristics that would. Now, on the other hand, if you thought Gal Gadot, the Wonder Woman, was really fantastic looking, would your wife be like, "Wait a minute, though, she doesn't look anything like me. She's not even my type."
Man, I think I missed a. I think there's some things you didn't say out loud during that. I think some of that logic chain only occurred
Well,
mentally for you,
if you're
because
if
I'm
you're
not sure
married
what the fuck you're talking about anymore.
if you're married to a blonde and then you look at some brunette and say she's pretty, would your wife get offended and say, "Well, wait a minute, she's not a blonde"? So are you saying that you like blondes, you like brunettes better than blondes, or you
Well,
like
okay, yeah, no, my wife would not be
Middle
offended.
Eastern women better than
No,
Germanic women?
that's. I think any woman that gets lost down that rabbit hole, you should probably just I don't know, give her a beer and go watch TV. I mean, it's a dumb thing to be concerned about. People's tastes in what attracts them changes throughout their life, just like your taste in food changes throughout your life. And you can, but and also anybody that's like, I only date people that look like this is a buffoon, and is probably missing out. In the context, there's not many contexts where I'm going to be looking at another woman and talking to my wife about it. And I think the only time it's going to happen is when we're watching TV, and I'll say something along the lines of, "Look, I mean, don't get the wrong idea here, but I don't know. I think she's kind of attractive."
Oh, I know
And
how it
so
came
you
up.
you got to couch it. You got to be careful like
I remember how it came up watching Friends, where they had the five,
that. Oh yeah,
the list of five. Remember that?
but yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah,
The Friends episode where you had a
Colleen.
list of five celebrities that, if you had a shot, would not count as cheating on
The,
your wife. You know, and
the
you each
important
had a
thing
list.
the important thing to remember is the five works because it's an unattainable goal. So
Right,
you have to be select. You can't make it your neighbor
right.
and the girl that works at the gas station.
Your,
Those
your
I have
assistant
found.
at work.
Yeah, I have found that that's a very that it doesn't work like that. It has to be an attainable goal. But here's so let's go circle back around to the Vegas sex dolls, which I just made that up in my head. I guarantee you that you and I will see that happening. It will happen. You
Well, I
will be
think it
able.
will.
You will. You. It probably is already happening. You could probably go to Vegas and dial up a guaranteed unused or reconditioned. Depends on your budget. It depends on your budget. Okay. And and when the sex dolls get to be okay, but uh, uh, the question is, are you going to be able to? Are they going to be? Oh my God! So
Oh my God, no.
an enterprising celebrity could have sex dolls of themselves made and rent them out and oh I just can I take a moment to take some notes because that's a really
What
good story idea
what
right
celebrity you
there.
think would do something like that? Stormy Daniels?
I I mean,
it
why the hell not? Are you kidding? Do you know how
would
much money she could make?
it probably would be porn actresses first. I don't think legitimate actresses or religious leaders would get into that.
I wait, what? I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do. I mean, with 3D printing, you could get really weird. You could order a Lindsey Graham sex doll if you're into that kind of thing. You know, they just what they do is they take a regular sex doll and they push it close to the fire for a couple of minutes and it melts a little bit, and then it's Lindsey Graham.
What about if would people start ordering robots that, like, God, there are so many ethically
Yeah,
challenging
yeah. Careful,
things.
careful. Think about what you say before you say it
Well,
out loud, Dave.
if you could literally order a robot that looked like anybody you wanted, all right,
Yeah,
like just again circling back to the five from the Friends episode.
yeah. Does a robot count?
Does a robot count would be the first thing, but then let's say you get past that issue. Would it count if it was a celebrity versus you could actually get like your neighbor's face or something on it, and then wouldn't that be now? I mean, I personally think you're wrong. I think that any wife would think that was cheating, even if it's not a real person. Um, but I think it would be even worse if it was like somebody you knew.
What are you doing? That's Barbara. No, that's a
That's a doll.
XJ942. It's an XJ942. It looks a little bit like our neighbor. What can I say? I'm on vacation. And here's the other weird thing is, I mean, they don't have to look like real people. I mean,
Well,
at some point, the sex dolls are going to look like, they're going to
Abraham
have.
Lincoln.
Oh, fuck, Dave.
Somebody could
Oh,
work their way through all the
because
presidents.
as soon as you say that, my mind goes to Mary Todd Lincoln, and it's just, oh,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
all the
bad.
first ladies.
Oh
Imagine
my
now
God.
if you and your
Oh,
wife really got into this and you
the
started working
Disney
your
Hall
way
of Presidents is going to be so different now.
through all the presidents and your first ladies.
I mean, there's already, people are in relationships, and they're sophisticated and they have, marital aids. I mean, now they're just going to have marital aids that talk and maybe do dishes. Who knows, man? I tell you, Hang on, my wife just walked in. You need a what? I don't have any Post-it notes. In your drawer. Yeah, well, there's not any in my drawer either. I'm out of Post-it notes. You walked in
get in your drawers? Ask her what robot would she be interested in.
Give me a note card.
Just chill out, man. All right, hang on a second. I've got blank ones here somewhere.
Never mind.
I'm sorry, I'm in a podcast. Here, take this paper. Here. God. Shut the door all the way. All the way!
Maybe now wouldn't be a good time to ask her what robot she'd be interested in.
Yeah, I don't think so.
She would say anybody but you at this point.
I know exactly who she would order. She would order Arnold Schwarzenegger. Absolutely. And you know what?
You would order Sarah Connor.
Oh, that would be so fun.
And which Sarah Connor would you order?
Just the oldest one. You could order Minnie Mouse if you wanted to. And it'd just walk over and say, hello. And then you do what you want to do, because it doesn't matter. There's no limitations on, we're just writing a short story is what we're doing.
Yeah, we should write a book on the ethical behaviors involving sex robots.
But our book is clearly.
But we would be on the other side of everything.
Yeah, we're clearly biased in favor
of whatever you want to do. So we try to figure out a way to make the ethics work so that there's no ethics. You can do whatever you want. What is that called? What kind of is it? Nihilism is when you want to destroy everything, right?
I don't know.
Bohemianism. The ethical bohemianism.
Libertarian, but libertinism is what you're talking about.
Right.
I mean, you could. Okay, I tell you which celebrities are going to do it. What's going to happen is celebrities are going to get scanned in the beginning of their career, and their studio or whatever is say it's for safety reasons. This is how we get your costumes to fit right. Blah blah blah. But those measurements are going to be in a file. And when that celebrity is old and they're not having any more business, that's when they're going to do it.
So you get Carol Burnett, even though she's 97 years old.
She's 97, but I mean, do you ever see Carol Burnett when she was? You know what? Screw Carol Burnett. Lucille Ball when she was 25. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely could do that. And you know what? I mean, there's artists that will be able to look at old images of people and figure it out, and they'll print those out too. We're eventually going to be able to.
They'll de-age people.
Yeah, and then they'll hit a button, prints out a sex doll. This is guaranteed to happen.
Huh. It's pretty frightening.
It's going to put a whole new change on like the white slave trade, and it's gonna put a whole new change on sex tourism. I mean, people are still gonna go to what's that
Bangkok?
place? Bangkok, but now Bangkok's gonna be the place where all the best sex robots are at.
Somebody will open a hotel in Vegas called the Bangkok Hotel. You said I'm going to Bangkok, and yeah.
What's the slang term for a sex robot? I just figured it out. It's gross.
What? Oh, I don't know. It's gross.
She's not a slut. She's not a slut. She's a slot.
Slat?
A slot, like slot A, slot B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got going on this week? That's enough with sexual robots.
I can't think of anything else now. I can't think about anything else now. That's all that's on my mind anymore. It's absolutely going to happen. I don't know. I blew up my career, so we can talk about that.
We did that last week.
Oh, fucking shit, man. I need a new desk. I don't know. My dog is getting old, and he barked all day. Now he stopped, and I'm glad.
I got plantar fasciitis.
Well, now, okay, let's just all settle in and talk about Dave's plantar fasciitis. What the hell is plantar fasciitis?
All right, so you've never had plantar fasciitis? When this came up at work, apparently it's a big thing. I've never paid any attention to it, although I guess I've heard the words. But anyway, I
don't think I've had it.
I got up earlier this week and my heel was very painful to walk on. And it was just, I didn't do anything. I didn't fall down. I didn't trip. I didn't do anything. All of a sudden, it just started hurting. And
you sure it's not gout?
That's what I thought. It's one of the things I thought, although I don't have gout, but I thought maybe I'm developing it. I couldn't figure it out. And
starts.
Since I'm only 3 months left in my career, I'm like, all right, well, I better get this shit taken care of. So
I mean, you should go to the doctor every day.
Yeah, I made a doctor's appointment right away and got in there. And the night before I went to the doctor, I was at work and I said, damn, my foot hurts. Maybe I should take a few days off. And then the guy's like, oh, that's plantar fasciitis. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I had it. They give you there's a little boot and they tell you to roll your foot on frozen water bottles and cool, and it goes away in a couple of days. And I went to the doctor and the doctor goes, where does it hurt? Right here? Does it hurt over here? No, you got plantar fasciitis. Roll your foot on a water bottle, take Advil. And I'm like, well, I've been taking Tylenol. And they're like, no, you got to take Advil because it's a what do you call it? It's a swelling of the tissue of the bottom of your foot. And they said get some shoe inserts too. Some of Dr. Scholl's. There's some specifically for plantar fasciitis.
And you should pay your friend.
I took 3 Advil and I got those soles. And last night at work, it was the first day in about a week I haven't been in pain. And then it's back today, but it's tolerable because I took Advil when they wanted.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Dave. Last time we hung out, maybe it was when we were in Tennessee that I said this. I forget. But you need new shoes.
Oh, I got new shoes, man.
And you need some good shoes, man. You need to get some of those really expensive tennis shoes is what you need.
Yeah, because I walk on the outside of my feet.
Well, stop doing that.
You can't. That's the way I've always walked. All my shoes are wore out like that.
Get orthopedics.
No.
What do you mean no? Why not?
I gotta wear those weird shoes.
Run, Forrest, run, man. Come on.
Yeah, so that's my plantar fasciitis story.
I spent all week working on presentations and stuff like that. It's been a pretty boring week, and getting a lot of stuff set up. I retooled my whole website, and it's looking really good, and that kind of thing, and
you didn't work on our website at all.
No, I didn't do shit on our website. Yep, that's all done. I'm sure there must have been something else that I've done. Sometimes I can't believe how little it seems that I do during a week, given how incredibly busy I am all the time.
Right.
I spend all my time. I'm so busy all the time, and then somebody asks me a question like, "What did you do this week?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm not actually sure what I did this week. I got to. Our foxes were back this week, like all the time.
I was preparing to do something. That's what you said.
Yeah,
I didn't actually get anything done, but I got a lot of preparations to do stuff.
Yeah, I'm ready when the time is right. I am ready. So I lost a lot of weight.
How much is a lot?
Well, for me, I've lost 12 pounds, and that was not easy to do. And you remember I've been trying since January, and until 2 weeks ago, I just hadn't made any headway, and I gave up. I was really upset. I got an app on my phone. I've been paying attention to what I eat. I've been logging all my calories, and so my wife goes, all right. I mean, I was very upset. I'm like, I give up. I'm just going to be obese. I'm going to die fat. And she goes, let me help you. And I'm like, all right, fine. So my wife says, how many calories does your app say you can have? And I gave her a number. She goes, it can't be right. She goes, that's way too many calories. And I go, no, it's an app. It does everything right. And she did some math because my wife is a former she's a former scientist, right? Before she's a lawyer, my wife was a scientist. and which is just she's she's so smart it pisses me off. And she goes, "You should only be doing this many calories." And it was like 600 calories a day less than what I was eating. I was having. All right, even actually more than that. It was my app said I should be having 2,800 calories a day. All right.
That does seem high.
Yeah. And so she goes, "Well, tell me about the settings on your app." And I open it up, and I had it set for the wrong stuff. I had it set for a guy who exercises like 4 hours a day and is walking like 20,000 steps a day. And when I set everything up the right way, it was almost exactly the same number that my wife came with. And so she took over our meals for 2 weeks, and she weighed and everything and measured, because she loves data. That's her life. And in 2 weeks I lost, well, it's actually been a month she's been doing that. And since no, it's only been 2 weeks she's been doing that. In that 2 weeks I lost 12 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
And now I'm trending downward, and she's got all this stuff under control. So
on Spreaker, there's some little cheering going on.
Cheering?
Yeah.
What do you mean cheering? Are people listening to us?
No, I'm doing some sound effects.
Oh, you're doing sound effects. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And it's weird because I thought 12 pounds is not a lot, but that's 2 bags of sugar. And that's when you put that on the table and you look at it that way, that's actually a lot,
Yeah.
And I mean, I got a lot to go, but it was she's done really good. I'm bragging on her. Also, it's nice. It's nice.
It's nice to have what?
It's just nice that I'm, for a very brief time, I'm experiencing sort of a traditional marriage, which is new for me.
What, where she's telling you what to eat?
She's cooking for me, and my wife has got a neurotic attachment to laundry, so she was already doing all the laundry, so now she's cooking and doing laundry. And I just, the other day, I was sitting in my chair and she brought me food, and in my mind I was like, well, this is nice. I'm like, so this is what it was like in the 50s. Huh, I could get used to this. And then she went to work one day because she has to go in sometimes, and I fucked everything up. Like, I didn't measure anything, and by the end of the day, when I did measure everything, I'd eaten like 4 days worth of food. And so I need her around to coach me.
All right. Well, I know we're actually, we still have 5 minutes left, but I have run out of things to talk about. So,
I would like to propose that everyone watch a new TV show that I found.
Okay. What is it?
And that show is called The Diplomat, and it's on Netflix.
I just saw the review. I was going to watch that last night, but work got busy, so I didn't get a chance. So I'll probably go upstairs and watch it now.
So it's one of those shows that is cerebral, all right? And I realized that the reason people write shows like that is for guys like you and me, who we are smart, all right? But the show kind of reassures us that we're smart. It's really subtle, but the reason people love police procedurals and detective stories that kind of spell things out is because it makes them feel smart. When you watch a police procedural, you know everything that's going to happen, and there's comfort in that. When you watch a detective movie and it's like the movie itself sort of tells you what's going to happen next, and so nothing's really a surprise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The reason those things work is because it makes you feel like you're thinking about all that stuff. And this show is like that. Like, it's super smart, and it's really, really good. And the people in it, every single character in it, is like 1,000 times smarter than anybody I know. All right, and savvy as hell. But I realized that I'm kind of that demographic. I love to be reassured. I love to be reminded that I'm smart, and this show reminds me that I'm smart. And it's as if the show is constantly going, "You get it, right? Because you're smart." Like, everything it does is just going, "You got that, right? You picked up on that. that little tiny little literary tale. You got that right? I know, because you're smart. Everything it's doing that constantly.
This is the review I read said it's Netflix's attempt at basically rebooting the West Wing. Did it give you that West Wing feel?
Yeah, only in the sense that all the characters are really smart. The way that I felt that the characters on West Wing were, and I felt that very few of the characters on West Wing were what's the word, straw men for the writers to make fun of a certain kind of people. Only one time did that happen on the West Wing, and on that show the conservative, it wasn't conservatives versus Democrats. It was always smart people versus dumb people. That's all it was. And this show, it's kind of like that. Like the British MP is a super conservative kind of guy, played by a great actor, and I don't know his name. Um, and he's objectively kind of a douchebag, but you also kind of like him. like like you think that when you hear somebody say some of the things he says, you're going to be like, oh, well, you son of a bitch. But I was like, huh, yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Yeah, I'd do that too. Yes, I would bomb that place too. Hell yes, I would. And it's just really great. I'm digging it a lot, man. I was desperate for a TV show because all the TV shows I watch. Well, I mean, I'm watching Miss Maisel, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I started rewatching the beginning. There was a show on Paramount where some woman who's dressed like a nun is looking for the Holy Grail. Hold on, let me see it.
That is Mrs. Davis.
Yeah, Mrs. Davis. Yeah,
Mrs. Davis.
I haven't saw that, but I saw the commercials and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I don't have Peacock, but I want to. Wait, is it Peacock or Paramount?
Paramount.
Oh shit, I have Paramount. Oh, can we quit? I'm gonna go watch that now.
I think it's Paramount.
I don't know.
I have both.
We have pretty much every TV subscription there is, except our Apple only works back here.
Oh.
I got to tell you, I've also been sort of really deeply committed to a video game for the last month.
Well, I think it is Peacock.
Yeah, I think it's Peacock.
I don't play video games. What video game do you play?
I don't usually play video games either. I'm not a video game guy, but I like these games because I have ADHD, because I'm a crazy person. I need something else going on all the time, right? If I only have one thing to focus on, my mind will explode. I need at least one other thing. And then when I do that, I'm super productive. So like this is, you can see right there, like, oh, well, it's blurred out, but I play this game called Surviving Mars. And basically I create a community on Mars, and I make sure it works. I'm basically
so if you have ADHD, then if you would have a sex robot, you'd have to have somebody giving a running commentary on your technique while you're with the sex robot.
That'd be a different robot.
Yeah, a different robot. Who's
it would be serious. I'd be like, shut up, Alexa! Shut up!
Sorry, we have less than 1 minute. I had to bring it back to sex robots.
We have to put this on Facebook because people are gonna fucking love
this. Get thrown off of Facebook.
Who cares?